You okay? All good?
Yes, all good, thank you.
Good, good. I know you touched on it briefly Saturday, but obviously there's still been pictures from it Sunday and today. Just on Jed, Mickey, their interaction on the pitch at full time. Was it just purely a sign of frustration rather than anything else? And have you held discussions since about it?
Yeah, Mickey and Jet came into my office yesterday on prompt. Just said, I want to say sorry for the situation. They didn't want it to look bad or disrespectful or all kind of perception you can get in this beautiful media world. So that was not the intention at all towards me or the team or the club. They were just frustrated with the performance, the loss, and the booing during the game.
Well, Vic, I've seen you at many home and away matches, and you interact with the fans a lot as well, and you stayed on the pitch at full time. What was your thoughts at the end, and have you collectively spoken as a group of players after that defeat?
Yeah, of course, we've spoken, and I think probably in some moments during the game probably when we are chasing, we need to be a little bit more cool heads, and probably if we have a little bit more help from some situation coming from the stand, it could be, of course, better, but we cannot control it. So at the end, of course, everyone was disappointed because we had already lost a London derby, so everyone was really frustrated, and we get the reaction of the fans at the end of the game. They can express their pain, and we were, of course, in a big pain situation. So that's across every stadium in the world, in Europe, in the UK. So we get the point. We were just disappointed for the result of the other night.
Thomas first. Team news. Looked like we couldn't see Mo, Jed or Lucas out there. Is that?
Yeah, Lucas got concussion, which was probably pretty obvious from the footage. Big praise to the medical team, because it's a tricky situation to be in when it's 2 minutes into a game and everything is on it. So well done to them, because it's the players' health that's the most important thing. Jet and Mo got a knock. They could and should be available for tomorrow.
And Vic, just a quick one for you. Just in that moment afterwards on the pitch after the final whistle, it looked like we could see you at one point almost like protecting Lucas. You were pushing him away at one moment and seemed to be doing that to the crowd. I'm just wondering if that was what you were doing, protecting him from something.
Yeah, I think in every environment there are very good people and some are bad people. So probably got contact with one bad people. That doesn't necessarily say that everyone is bad people, but there are some bad people in every environment, and I had to protect him because he was a little bit, emotional in that time. I think is part of my little bit experience to do it, and we can discuss inside the dressing room and not do it outside. So that's it.
Could I ask a question for both of you to answer, maybe Thomas first and then yourself, Vic? You're struggling at home this season, completely contrasting to the away form, and the home form predates you. I mean, I've just had a look, and in the Premier League at this stadium, Tottenham have lost 40 of 71 games or something like that, which is 41 of 70 games.
In Premier League?
In the Premier League.
Yeah.
Do you have any theories as to why it's difficult for the team to play in this stadium, to play at home? And I'd ask the same question afterwards of you, Vic, too.
Of course, it's a relatively small sample for me to to look into, if I'm honest. So I think there's, first and foremost, we need to work very hard on keep adding performances, keep adding layers, keep improving. We work very hard on the training pitch, in meeting rooms and one-to-one actions, and I see a good improvement in the team in general. Of course, we're coming on the back of a bad performance. There's a big flashing light right now, so everyone have a little bit struggled to look past that and look at some of the very good performance we had this year as well. I also think it's it's fair to say that we coming off the back of in many ways a fantastic season, but also a tough season. And if anyone have said that we now have been 17 points after 10 games, unbeaten in Champions League. I don't know what we are, fifth. It doesn't matter where we are now. It's where we end in the end of the season. Everything's definitely not perfect, but there's a decent foundation, and then it's up to us to add layers. I think everyone would have taken that situation where we are in now in terms of 22 defeats last year and finished 17th. And Europa League is fantastic. Wow, but Champions League is different. And then I think I just want to get the point across. I think the fans were fantastic the first 30 minutes of the game Saturday night. I think the noise was incredible, and that carried us forward. It seems that was a little bit of a turning point when we conceded the goal, where we all get a little bit frustrated, which is natural. I think it's more than fair because we are in the performance business, and if we can't deal with the pressure or deal with the negativity or the criticism, we shouldn't sit here. Probably Vic and I, you play a little bit more football than me, but we're in the football world because we love the game, and we love to be part of something, and we love to be part of the team. We don't, necessarily, it's nice with the big occasions, okay? It's not that, but we play because we love football. And then we've been growing, and then we have the big crowds. I think the fans was fantastic the first 30. And after the game, if we perform badly, and on top of that lost the game, more than fair enough to boo us. But during the game, we need a little bit of help. And especially when it's not going the right way. They can be the turning point. We were down 1-0, last 15s. Imagine they carry us over the line. We got a little bit unfair 1-1. What a feeling. That point can be the difference in the long season.
Yeah, to be fair, I don't know which is the difference is. Probably in football is everything is related to a game that of course we didn't perform at our best, and we lost against a London team, so probably is seen also in a different perspective. But I think we can change things quickly starting from tomorrow, because also our record in European competition playing at home is a big one, is a huge one. I don't remember how many finger crossed games have we didn't lose at home for, I don't know, 19, 18 if I don't get wrong. So we go tomorrow. We have a big opportunity to turn this track in another way. Tomorrow is the best chance to try to do it.
Just a very small one, Thomas. If the home form continues to be a bit of an issue, would you consider at all having the team train at the stadium? Some managers do that. I've not known a Tottenham manager do that.
Maybe. I haven't thought about it. I'm always listening to good suggestions that maybe. Yeah.
Just a quick one on Lucas Thomas. Is there a protocol that means he has to miss a certain number of games now?
Yeah, he's out. He's out for the next 2 games.
Okay.
Yeah.
And on home form, do you feel like there is a weight of pressure and expectation with performing for a crowd that demands a certain style of play, or is it more to do with teams that come and set up to frustrate?
Yeah, I think there's different types of games. I think sometimes also because everything accumulating or adding a little bit up. So the number you game, of course, is not a fantastic number, and we haven't won home the last whatever games in the Premier League. Not too many. Completely different games. Some teams are very difficult to play against in that environment. Others a little bit easier. Everything is difficult. But for example, Villa, I think a very good competitive performance. Unfortunately, we lost. We just got on the wrong one, and we could easily have won that 1-0. And I think Saturday night is the accumulation of a lot of things. A big London derby. Always hope we beat them. We haven't won against them for a long time, and we didn't. So that's just added a bit.
Hi Thomas.
Hi.
Just on Van der Ven and Spence, is it case closed in your mind? There won't be any kind of further repercussions from that in terms of selection or anything else, disciplining them?
For me,
As in it's finished
yeah.
from you?
Yeah, 100%. I hope it was very clear what I said before.
And just, I mean, on the style point, there's a sort of narrative, I think, that, you know, you're a defensive coach, you know, and a pragmatist, and, you know, you can tweak things, but maybe not such a front foot coach. Are you surprised about that, given your kind of record with Brentford in your career?
I think it all depends on the narrative. Whose narrative? Is that the journalist, or is it
I think fans,
a few fans? I guess we have quite a few fans out there, so I guess the one who write on social media. I'm not on social media. I'm very aware that we haven't been free floating in some games. I think there's been definitely moments where it's been quite good. So something we work very hard on every single day. I think it's fair to say that every team we've been able to score a lot of goals. Also a Brentford team with, how can you say, less on the paper, lesser players, creating a lot of top goal scorers, and convinced we'll do the same again here. Also think it's fair to say that we are working very hard on it. We are having players that do everything they can and it's my job together with the coaches to make sure they hit good relations and good structure and be confident.
Thank you.
Gentleman in the red, please. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Thomas. This is a slightly strange question, but next month the Africa Cup of Nations will take place or begin in Morocco, and unusually it's not one that they wanted to host at that time of year. They actually wanted to host it in the summer, the European summer. And the end result is, because they did the Club World Cup, which was for the convenience of the few, shall we say, a lot of clubs are going to lose players to the Africa Cup of Nations in this winter. Do you think it is fair that you are affected by this, because you are going to lose at least one player to the Africa Cup of Nations for a month? Is that fair in this context, that Morocco didn't actually want to host it then, they wanted to host it in the summer?
I think it is what it is. Like was Club World Cup in the summer, it was African Cup of Nations. Most of the times it's been in December, January. We need to deal with it, and we will. So yeah, that's my take on it.
Hi, Thomas. You spoke at the start of the conference about this beautiful media world that we live in. You said it with a smile, but I just wondered how you're finding the spotlight at Tottenham and, shall we say, the extreme nature of the reactions to performances.
Of course, I sense there is a tiny bit more attention to everything, but that was the one thing I was 1,000% sure of that will happen. That will be different. And everything else been the same. 20 fantastic players and people that want to work in the same direction. A little bit tactical, technical, coaching, all that. This is the biggest difference. Very, very happy I'm not on social media. And the only reason why I sense there can be something with whatever, fans or creativity, whatever, is a lot of questions from the press conferences. So, my good friend over here gives me a little bit of input sometimes. So, it is what it is. It's part of it. No problem.
Do you, just to follow up on that, do you have to protect your players, especially the younger ones, from getting their heads buried in their phones and social media?
I think that's I think it's sometimes I like to speak more about it, how much they do it. I think some of the players are very good at it. Some of them probably could be a little bit better. I think a little bit down to individual. But I also think some of it also, I like to say I'm still young, but it's another generation. I think they deal with it with another way than us. If I should start dealing with it, I think I'll deal with it less good than them.
Hi, Thomas. Over here, Thomas.
Yeah, hi,
Just back to Jed and Mickey coming in for this meeting. You said that it was unprompted. They did it off their own accord.
Yeah.
How important was that for you that they came in to say sorry in this particular moment? And can you give us any more sort of detail? How long was the meeting? Did it go on for a little while or what?
I think if they didn't come in, of course, I had to ask them about the situation they are walking in, what they were feeling, why they were doing it, because we all have a perception, and we are very, very good to have that strongly. That's because they, whatever, because their mom wasn't well, or they didn't like the head coach, or they were irritated with the performance, or it's because they lost, or whatever. We're very, very good at that. None of us knows. So that would be my first question to them. How were they and why? Of course, I'm happy because I knew the question will come today, that they are coming in, and that means they care. And I think that's very good. They care about the team, the club, in this case, me. I'm happy with that. So that was very good. And then we just had a good talk about a lot of things, and like with everything, we'll keep it internally. Like I said to the players, when I've said that before, it will be very, very, very unusual if I ever throw a player under the bus. We're all humans, but I will always protect them, always.
And just a question for Vic. Towards the end of the game, you were involved in that free kick where you give it to Jed, and there was the frustration amongst the fans where there was, booing during the game. First of all, have you ever experienced that? And talking about the home form, how important is it for the atmosphere that you win tomorrow and win well?
Yeah, probably, you take some decision on the pitch and sometimes are not the best, and probably could have decided in a different way to probably put the ball forward in that occasion instead of trying to play short. But yeah, like I said, probably it was just about the wrong decision, and but football is about trying to make the right ones, but sometimes you cannot do it 100% of the times. And about the situation of the stadium, I think it's normal. I was a fan when I was a kid and was going to the stadium, and I saw many of these things. Probably in Italy is also a little bit worse when you go, so I have big shoulders about that, so it's not a big problem. It's like when you go to the theater and you see a show and you don't like it, and you express what are your reaction, what are you feeling. So it's just about that, and I think the main thing is for us to concentrate on what we have to do on the pitch, trying to be as much as focused on our game plan, on what we have to do, because it's just on us how we can turn the situation, how we can win a game or draw a game like the other night. And the other night we probably made some more mistakes that normally we don't do, and probably was the reason why we couldn't overturn the results.
Gentleman with the blonde hair, please.
Thomas, Adam from Danish news agency Ritzau. How much do you get to follow the games from the National League from Superligaen? How much have you seen FC Copenhagen this year, and how can you take advantage of the down period they are in at the moment?
Of course, I follow the results and the league, so I know how results are every week. I still have good colleagues, friends working in different clubs. Knowing obviously also a lot of people in Copenhagen. So I know, of course, Copenhagen is not in their best place, but it's a very good team. They have very good European experience. I expect it to be a difficult game, and always that's my little bit go-to. No matter a team, if they're in form or they are out of form, the next game is the one that everything can change in. So we prepare like normal, very, very aware of the strength of Copenhagen, and of course some areas we like to exploit. So that's how I take. I know I know Jakob Nistrup very well. He's a very good coach. He knows what he's doing with his coaching staff. So I expect a tough challenge and a tough tactical challenge.
And how would you describe your relationship with the Copenhagen fans? Because they probably remember your time in Brøndby as well. I think you know that.
Yeah, I think they will be pleased to meet me again. Of course, there's a relationship because I was head coach of Brøndby. They obviously not the biggest fan of me, but that's fair. That's part of it.
Final question, please.
Thomas, just to follow up on that, in terms of your history at Brøndby, do you still feel like you have some Brøndby genes in you, and do you feel like an extra sort of rivalry with Copenhagen, or is it in the past for you?
I know, of course, I've been almost 3 years in Brøndby, and if you are that, the fans get under your skin, and the club does as well. So of course, that is Brøndby that got my support. Tomorrow, it in some ways it's a little bit special, of course, against the Danish team, where I know quite a few works in the backroom staff and in the club. Of course, I know some of the players, the Danish players, for different, whether it be national team or whatever, how I, came across them. So that's why it's a little more special. Tomorrow, I just want to win. We play Champions League. We're playing home. Vic said it perfectly. The best way to get a little bit back on track is a good performance and win at home. So that's the main bit.